ISIS answers the question, why do they hate us? And how we can get them to stop. President Obama's devotees may be shocked. I'm Scott Ott with Bill Whittle and Stephen Green, and this is Right Angle, brought to you by the members at BillWhittle.com. Well, the latest issue of Dabiq, the official magazine of ISIS, the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, offers 6 reasons why the jihadis hate us and fight us, and the one way we can make them stop. According to ISIS, the number one reason they hate us by far is that we do not believe in Allah, the Prophet Muhammad, or the Quran. And many of us claim that God has a son named Jesus who is equal with God the Father. Reason number 2 from ISIS, our secular society makes laws democratically instead of following Sharia. Our laws permit what Allah forbids and forbid what Allah commands, because we don't believe in Islam. Reason number 3 from ISIS on why they hate us, atheists who don't believe in Islam. Reason number 4, we make cartoons of Muhammad and burn the Quran because we don't believe in Islam. Now, oddly enough, U.S. wars of aggression and invasions of Muslim lands languish at the bottom of the top 6 list. But ISIS emphasizes that disbelieving Islam is our main crime. Even if we brought all of our troops home and stopped fighting them overseas, they would still seek to destroy us, they say, because we don't believe in Allah or his messenger. Now, we could buy ourselves some time before our final destruction by surrendering and paying a subjugation tax, but they'd still destroy us later after they got done with the rest of the world because, well, you know. Anyway, Stephen Green, after reading this article in Dabiq, I'm confused. Why do they hate us?
I was getting all ready for the devil's advocate question. Boom, no, that was a fastball right across the plate. Wow. Yeah, I'm seeing a trend here. Something about Islam. I don't know. Mark Stein years ago said the more important question isn't why do they hate us, it's why do they despise us? Why do they think so little of us that they think they can blow us up with impunity? Well, I think the last 7 or 8 years have given us a good taste of that, and I think it was Ralph Peters who years ago had stated, and I think this fits in really well with ISIS. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was Ralph Peters quoting a 19th century French anthropologist whose name escapes me. It might have been Strauss, who said that Islam is a barracks religion. That is, it's suitable for motivating young men to kill for a cause. And look at this. The top 5 of the 6 reasons that they hate us, or despise us, if you want to go with Mark Stein, is Islam and our lack of belief in it. You know, we've been saying this stuff, well, pretty much since about September 12th, 2001, and it is amazing. After all that we've been through, after all that we've lost, after the growth, the growth like cancer of ISIS through this chaos in the Middle East, that we still wonder why it is they despise us.
Well, Bill Whittle, you know, there is one way to get the jihadis to stop hating and fighting us, according to the ISIS magazine.
Can imagine what it might be.
All we have to do is to convert to Islam. Well, now that President Obama knows this because he watches this show each week, can we expect a change in rhetoric from the White House or perhaps a new month-long national holiday?
Well, no, there's no reason for him to change policy because getting us to submit to Islam is, I think, his entire purpose. Let's just start from the basics. The word Islam, it means peace. No, it doesn't. It means submission. And anybody who's not submitting to Islam is in the house of war, and they have to be either subjugated, turned into slaves and dhimmis, or killed. And that's just the way it is. That's what the religion commands. I don't remember who said this. I want to say maybe it was the great and lamented Steve Denbest, who did such amazing work in early 2000s. But if it wasn't him, it was somebody kind of like him. And basically he pointed out something I thought was very interesting. You've got this, Islam is a very severe religion, and it's created out of a very severe land. There's very little water, there's very little food, there's blazing temperatures and so on. And when Islam describes paradise, the paradise that these martyrs are going to go to, it's green, there's waters flowing, there's plenty of food, plenty of milk, there's plenty of wine, which is forbidden to them on the earth, and there's 72 hot,
Doe-eyed
pole
virgins.
dancers. Yeah, exactly. 72 pole dancers who are there for your explicit pleasure, and that's all. Because music is forbidden to them down here, wine is forbidden to them down here, women is forbidden to them down here, gambling is forbidden down here. And what he pointed out was that the Muslim idea of paradise is in fact Las Vegas. And it is. It's Las Vegas. And the idea that we infidels who are perfectly fine with women running around in bikinis and allow homosexuals to live and even, own their own businesses for God's sakes and appear on television, and all of the rest of these godless, lesbian feminists and all the rest of them have everything that they're promised in paradise. We have it every day. And it's intolerable to them because what it basically says is that Allah is favoring us with their paradise every day. And that could be a little bit of a cognitive dissonance kind of thing. As far as the tremendous shock that's what it's about, it's not about us mucking around in the wars. By the way, if number 6 is because of wars, the wars are because it's Islam, right? And that's what they do. This would take a whole month, but I think the main point is this, guys. The reason that liberals will not accept the fact that it's Islam and not anything else, that they hate us because we're not Muslims, is because if it turns out that it's something that we do, if it's our actions, which is a form of racism, they don't have any of their actions or grievances on their own or agendas, it's just they react to us and our troops over there. Yeah. But if it's what we do and then we stop doing it, then they'll stop hating us and they won't come after us anymore. If, on the other hand, is what they say is true, what they tell themselves is true, then that means in order to escape this death, the feminists are going to have to be property of men, and the homosexuals have to be killed, and every woman will have to live in a tent, and we'll all have to get down 5 times a day and pray to Allah. And if you wear your hair too long or the kind of T-shirt they don't like, the squads of virtue and vice will go around and beat you or behead you or whip you or whatever. And so when people say, well, we should just compromise, which compromise do you want? Do you want to only kill homosexuals on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, or do we only put women in tents, on months with no R's in them or something? There is no compromise. It's antithetical to Western belief, and we either fight for these beliefs or we don't. And the people who are ready to fight for them are the ones that are most despised by the people that they most despise: the atheists, the progressives, the feminists, the homosexuals, all that other stuff.
Hey, Scott, can I throw something
Please
in here
do.
real quick? It's always been shorthand that, since 9/11, they hate us for our freedoms. But, that's not quite right. Your average jihadi doesn't go, they have a Bill of Rights. I must kill them. Oh, and separations of powers. I must kill them by the thousands. No, it's not how it works. They don't hate us for our freedoms. They hate us for the results of our freedoms. And that
Beautifully
is,
said.
as Bill says, that's Las Vegas, that's bikini girls, that's fabulous gay weddings. I support all of those. I will not submit.
I just want to elaborate on that very quickly. That's exactly right, Steve. When we say they hate us for our freedoms, the progressives, oh, really? Is it what amendment to the Bill of Rights is it that they've got such a problem with? Well, mostly it's the First Amendment, frankly. If you really want a snarky question, I'll give you a snarky answer. You're absolutely right. It's not that they hate the First Amendment. It's that they hate the fact that you can draw a cartoon of Muhammad and not die for it. That's what they hate.
Bingo.
Well, just days after the towers of the World Trade Center fell, the Pentagon exploded, and Todd Beamer and his fellow passengers sacrificed their lives, thus saving countless others in the nation's capital. President George W. Bush addressed a joint session of Congress. The ignorant, awkward cowboy tried to answer the question which the media said was on so many American minds, which we've hinted at: why do they hate us? Bush said they hated our freedom to choose our own religion, to make our own laws, to speak our own minds, and to disagree with authority. He said they wanted to drive Christians and Jews from vast regions of the world. The left mocked Bush. To this day, they describe the terrorists as oppressed people, unjustly attacked by America, who want nothing more than to live in peace. If only we would retreat from their lands, they would leave us alone. But if the left would actually read the public statements of the leaders of ISIS themselves, they would learn that the only way to end this war is to submit to Sharia, to bow to Allah, to kowtow before the Quran, and to revere Muhammad. The very name, as Bill pointed out, the very name Islam means submission. It's not just their brand, it's their entire mission. Their war against us will continue until the flag of the caliphate flies atop the Capitol dome, the White House, and the Supreme Court, until every American believes in their demon God or loses his head for refusing. For Bill Whittle, Stephen Green, and the entire Right Angle team at BillWhittle.com, I'm Scott Ott. Special thanks to the members at BillWhittle.com for making this possible.